I'm happy to be back in Brazil. This was a great race last year. It didn't end up very well for me, but I feel that we were fast and we were very competitive. I just decided to be brave when the rain came, and I stayed out an extra lap. So much for being a hero. But it's been a decent start to the year. The first couple events weren't anything special necessarily, but we were fast in the races, and then in Long Beach we persevered, which is important on street courses. It's going to be important again here today, I think, or this weekend, and got a 7th place. And for me, my challenge of the weekend is going to be tomorrow at 3 o'clock when we go out to qualify. That's my weak area. Practice has been good so far this year. The races have been great. I've passed a lot of cars and I've had good race laps, but when you start 20th every weekend, it makes it hard to have a good weekend. You have to take chances, and they don't always work.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure that you heard about the improvements that were made on the surface of this racetrack. I'd like to ask you
that would be why I'm late. So I'm sorry I'm late, but as you know, the back straightaway is a mile long, and we had the golf cart pinned, but it wasn't going any faster. So I was going to drive the golf cart here, and on my way it ran out of battery. So I had to walk, but which is not a problem, but it made me a little late. So did a lap of the track, and it is spectacular. They've done a really good job, and everything from the fix that they had last year for the front straightaway when it was very slippery. Pretty exciting, but not in a good way, probably, for the race at least. And to fix that, and then to go around and repave the whole track. And to be honest, it wasn't that. The back straightaway was very bumpy, but the rest of the track wasn't too bad. So, I'm sure that was a massive financial investment, and I think it just shows the Brazilian commitment to this event and what they're doing with it.
You think it's going to be faster this year than it was last year?
I do believe it'll be faster. The surface is a pavement, not a concrete, and concrete tends to be more grippy than pavement, but this is new and so smooth, and I think that change in and of itself will make a difference. That's usually one of the biggest problems on street courses, is just trying to keep all four tires on the ground, but it will be much easier this year.
Thank you. Bom, eu vou começar a passar para vocês aí para fazer as perguntas. Danica, you can use the headset again, so they are going to make questions. Você quer fazer aqui?
Meu nome é Thales, da Associated Press. Eu queria saber se tem alguma, em relação ao qualifying, tem algum motivo especial que não está dando certo? Qual tem sido o problema até o momento?
Well, if it was that easy, I wouldn't have the problem, if it was that easy to answer. But it's as simple as I just don't manage to find the full grip level of the new tires. And for me, I think it's because I'm not doing things different enough in qualifying. And through my career, I remember when I was young, I would try and drive harder, and I'd go slower, and then so you just drive within the means of the car, and just by having new tires, you pick up speed. Where it's so competitive now that you have to get back to pushing, and instead of pushing at a 16-year-old talent level, you need to push at a 29-year-old talent level, and get the most out of the tires. And so I think that's why practice and the race are good for me, because I'm doing the same thing the whole time. So I'm pushing the same amount all the time, and doing the same things, braking at about the same point, and things like that. And that's why qualifying is not special. It's not faster than the rest of it. And so, I just need to look deep into that and try and figure out what my teammates are doing to find the time, and then just practice it myself. And this will be a good weekend because we have less track time, so we'll have but we have the same amount of tires, so we'll be able to use more new sets of tires, which will be good for me.
Nathalie Gedra, da TV Bandeirantes. Você disse há pouco tempo sobre a prova do ano passado que você tentou ser corajosa e daí a prova acabou não sendo como você gostaria. Queria saber o que você aprendeu sobre a pista e sobre essa sua experiência, sua primeira experiência em São Paulo.
My hero move became a zero move, so yes, that's true, and good remembering that. Over time, you can take risks, and that's fine. And there is a time and a place to take risks. But I think what I realize is that trusting my instincts in the race and doing what I've done for 20 years of racing is what I need to do. I need to trust that instinct, and that instinct will probably prove right for the point in time that I need to take the more risky moves or risky calls. But for me last year to stay out when it was raining, started raining, that was just basically Ryan Briscoe was in front of me, and I thought if he's staying out, I can stay out. Then I found out that he had rain tires on, so that didn't help. But it was just not a good call. I was thinking, so what I learned was that I need to trust my instincts in the race, and that I've been working on those and practicing those for 20 years, and I should trust them and not try and do things differently, because these races are not extremely long, but they're long enough where you don't have to take risks a lot. You can wait until the very end and decide when, if that's the right time. So just trust your instincts.
Andrei Spinacé, Folha.com. Danica, você sente a falta do Tony Kanaan como seu companheiro de equipe? Ele é muito experiente, mas esse ano mudou de equipe. Como que está sendo a falta do Tony Kanaan na Andretti?
He was a very good storyteller. He did. He told great stories. They got bigger every time too. He was a fun guy, funny. He was always very fast on the track, which gave you something to push for. So it's always nice to have teammates that are very talented, and he's quite brave. So you pushing to that level, whether it's on road courses or ovals. But it doesn't mean I still can't learn from him a little. I was at Barber Motorsports Park, the second race of the year. I remember just on those restarts, he'd just vomit up the inside and pass like 3 rows, and all of a sudden I'd pass him, or I'd be ahead of him on the track. The yellow would come out after the green flag. We'd go into like turn 3, and he'd be like 5 spots ahead of me. So, just picking up those little things that other drivers are doing. And so, miss his stories and miss that carrot out there. But we have good drivers now too. And so, Mike Conway won last weekend at Long Beach, and Ryan Hunter-Reay came very close to winning here last year. So it doesn't mean we don't have people to chase, but it's always he was always somebody you knew was going to be getting the most out of the equipment.
Rogério Elias, Portal Yahoo, Amigos da Velocidade. Danica, eu queria saber se os rumores na imprensa americana de que você efetivamente vai mudar para a NASCAR, só vai correr na NASCAR no ano que vem, são verdadeiros.
Well, there are probably those rumors. There might be rumors that I'm racing all IndyCar. There might be rumors that I'll race IndyCar and NASCAR again. But it is a new point in time this year for me to make some decisions and look inside myself and see what it is that I really want to do, whether that's continue doing the same thing that I'm doing, or continue down this path, or choose a new one. But it's much too early in the year to tell what that answer is going to be, and those things tend to unfold as the year goes on and answers become obvious.
Aqui. Rodrigo França, revista VIP. Danica, a gente sabe que você está aqui para competir com todos os pilotos, né? Mas é claro que a questão sempre de você ser mulher, e tem mais 2, que uma delas é a brasileira, a Bia Figueiredo, e também a Simona de Silvestre. Como é que é o relacionamento de vocês três? Vocês conversam? A gente aqui no Brasil usa a expressão clube da bolinha, né? Que é tipo Gentleman's Club, que os homens geralmente compartilham segredos. Será que as mulheres também compartilham segredos?
Dang it, I wish I had something clever prepared, some clever saying, but I'll have to think about that now for the future. But no, I think that probably, to be serious, I would imagine that women throughout, our history as race car drivers and our experience, we've always tried to kind of somewhat blend in, but be a driver, and there was no reason and almost not good to single yourself out in some kind of a way. I know for myself, when I was a young driver, I avoided wearing the color pink and purple, and I didn't want to stand out in a female way that would give someone an excuse not to give me a chance. And so I guess I'm saying that I found that at a certain point in my career, I just tried to blend in. So no, there's no special saying, but now I'm going to have to think of one.
Some words about Bia Figueiredo. Some words.
Well, I think that both the other girls in the series have done really well, somewhat in IndyCar and also in where they came from. Bia won a couple of Indy Lights races, and Simona won Atlantic races, and they both are talented and good drivers. And now is that point in time that they have to earn the trust and respect of the people around them, not only their team but the other drivers on the track, and get the most out of their equipment. And I recognize that not everyone has the same equipment, so getting the most out of it is only something that within the team people will know, and if they do, then they will continue.
Mais duas questões, tá?
Rodrigo Gini do Estado de Minas. Danica, I can ask in English.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind.
Talking again about NASCAR, you had already a top 5 in Nationwide Series, so how do you feel to adapt and readapt to such different kinds of car, and what can you say about that kind of muscle race that we have there, lots of bumps, touches, and it's completely different to what we have here in IndyCar?
Man, I wish I had bumpers in these cars sometimes. It's nice to be able to, the thing that's nice in NASCAR with being able to bump and muscle around is that people push you around out there, and some people are just more bullies than others. Some people are a little bit more brave, or sometimes not intelligent brave, and in NASCAR you have the opportunity to give it back to them without taking yourself out of the race and without endangering anyone really. So that's kind of the nice thing over there. But it's what was the first part of that question again?
About the need to adapt and readapt to the IndyCar.
Yeah. At this point in time, I just don't know any different. So for me, it doesn't seem hard. It just seems, there's a few laps of refresher when I jump from one car back to the other, just the seating position and the perspective and things like that. But for the most part, I can't say that it's that hard. It's just, I'm not able to, with IndyCar, I'm doing the full season, so I'm able to give my full attention to that. But in NASCAR, to do one race every now and again through the summer, it makes it a little bit hard. But I do enjoy those stretches of time that I get at the beginning and the end of the season where I can improve over the course of a month instead of race only once a month. When I raced in England when I was 16 and 19, I wanted to race Formula One. That's what I wanted to do, and anything less to me was going to be some kind of a compromise. And I came back to the States in 2001, and then obviously continued down the path that I did with Formula Atlantic and IndyCar, and I love it. I really do. I learned how nice it is for me as a person and me as a driver as well to get the most out of myself as a driver, because it's not just physical, it's emotional and mental as well, to be around my family and be around my friends and be able to have the creature comforts of home, whether that's the kind of food I like or something simple like that. So I can say that I know that there's been a lot of those kinds of rumors every now and again, but I can say that there's not been much truth at all behind them, and nobody really calls me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why they use my name. I guess I'll leave that up for question.